Hi, thanks for spending some time with me again today. We're looking at Ravel, Le Tombeau de Couperin. Very interesting piece, tons of music in it. I'm going to play one short little passage from it, which tends to give players problems. And the reason why this can be to your advantage is because, again, even though if you don't play in an orchestra, you don't know the music, you're never going to play this piece, it still is an interesting challenge in terms of just playing the trumpet. Now I'm playing it on C trumpet, and the part is originally in C. But don't let that stop you. You can play it on B flat where it's written. You can play it on B flat and transpose it. Most of you, I realize, have a B flat trumpet. If you have a C trumpet and you're preparing this piece, well, maybe we'll get into some of those details. But I just was flipping through the book doing these videos today, and I thought, oh, wow, I haven't played this in a long time. I wonder if that would be worthwhile. So I'm going to check my tempo. Yeah, so that clips it right along. It's 120. So I don't know if I can do this without flubbing it, but here we go. So pretty rough. So I'm going to slow it down. Now when I slowed it down, I automatically single-tongued it. But my single-tongue is pretty slow. I've worked on it my whole life, but it's still pretty slow. And I'm in good company. I won't mention names, but there are quite a few players that do not have a fast single-tongue. But that shouldn't stop you either, because if you can multiple-tongue effectively, then it doesn't matter how fast you can single-tongue. It's nice to be able to do it fast. I wish I could, but in this case, if I play it up to tempo, I'm going to have to multiple tongue. So that means when I play it at the slower tempo to practice it, I'm going to be going ta 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 ta. So it's mostly single tongue, but I just throw a K in every once in a while. Now, so I hope you can practice that and get some enjoyment out of it and maybe make a little bit of progress. It really has to do with playing the line and letting the air get through the notes. And a lot of times when we're tonguing, we end up kind of ticka, ticka, ticka and chopping away at it, which is not particularly healthy, and it doesn't get good results. But another area that I have a problem with this piece, which is why I was wondering, should I really do this today, is it goes down to your low F sharp. And it's forte, and then it's double forte going down into the low register. And a lot of people play kind of blatty and kind of rough when they go into the low register. I'm in that group too. So I'm going to have to practice that in order to get the gesture and the character of the style of Couperin, the style of Ravel's interpretation of Couperin. And it's very light and bouncy. I hope you can hear that. So on a nice quick pa. And that, for me, that takes a lot of work. For some people it's going to be easy. You'll have other problems. We all have our problems. We all have our issues. I'll just offer you one more bit of advice and then let you go practice this, and hopefully some of these ideas will be helpful to you. A lot of times I'll transpose things. Now this is a little bit, I'm probably going to embarrass myself here, but you know, the fingerings, so you have quite a bit of third valve in it. That's a good reason to practice it all by itself as an exercise, if you play it the way it's written on the page, whether you're playing it on B flat trumpet or C. But then I start transposing it, and I learned this from Mr. Herseth, who he said you should, you know, whatever you play in the orchestra, you should transpose it into all different keys. And he didn't explain why, but I think over the years I've figured it out. You're getting the interval relationships in your ear, and you're connecting yourself to the trumpet in the same way that a great improvisational artist would. In other words, you're playing by ear. So I'm going to try and play this by ear, and I may have to kind of hack my way through it, but we'll see. So in this case, let's see, it starts on a G sharp, so I'm going to go up to A and play it up a half step. So original is I'm going to start a half step higher. So first I need to find the notes, find the finger pattern, concentrate to doing the fingers well. Now I have a finger pattern, and that should serve me very well. And I found that a lot of players actually learn by the finger pattern, because it's something that, once you can feel that, it's nice and definite and snappy, and it translates very well into your playing, and it's easy to remember. But I want to learn the intervals, so I'm going to go back and try and transpose it to another key. So I went up a half step, let's try another half step. Now, obviously, it would help me a lot if I had a little bit better music theory background. In other words, I'd look at that and I'd say, oh, no, wait a minute. That's just a flat 7. Oh, yeah, in this key. Now, that might help you. It doesn't help me so much because I always struggle with music theory, but I didn't struggle with improvisation so much, so all I need to do is get it in my ear. Now that's difficult because it's got a D flat in it now, or a C sharp, depending on how you think about it. Don't confuse yourself. And then an A flat or G sharp on the bottom. So what that means is you're going to have that third valve slide out for the D flat, let's say, and then it has to be back in again. So that presents a totally different challenge. Now, if you're listening for the quality of the interval relationships, you're going to hear that whether the intervals are in tune or not, whether they're spot on, as you would say, just bang right there in terms of whatever key you play in. That's why it's another good exercise. Now, let's see, I'll get crazy, maybe one more half step. So I find that to be fun. Yes, I know it's a little frustrating. Give yourself time to find the intervals with your ear. This is an exercise that most symphonic players do not do. And what it does is it gives you another layer of confidence because, in my opinion, basically when you're playing, you should be aiming at an acoustical target. I mean a musical target where you can hear exactly the qualities that you want in the final result. And then that kind of unifies all the technical details that we work on so hard and diligently in order to be able to play this well in a performance. So I hope those little bits of advice translate into your playing, regardless of who you are and where you are. And I hope you come and join me for another session when you have time. Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.